The industry I work in, the film industry, this used to be the mecca of filmdom. It is no more. That's right, yeah. And the tech industries have taken off, and many businesses and industries, they just left. They blew out of town because he's made it untenable for people to make a living.
The actor didn't pull a single punch. He went straight for Gavin Newsom, ripping into him for running California into the ground ever since he took office. No sugarcoating, no polite jabs, just a raw takedown of failed leadership that's left the Golden State looking more like a cautionary tale.
It is criminal negligence.
Yes. Yes.
Do the mayor and the governor give a damn about you?
No. Absolutely
Hell no.
not. No.
I mean, that's clear.
Yeah. Now it's the governor.
So Mel Gibson didn't just rant, he dropped a nuclear truth bomb that lit up social media, dragging Gavin Newsom through the mud for his disastrous track record. The outrage was so deafening even the mainstream media had to pile on, torching him for gutting California's once thriving film industry. Cornered and desperate, Newsom tried damage control with a secret meeting involving Trump's California ally, the legendary Jon Voight. But let's be honest, it was too little too late. With 2028 looming, Newsom's presidential dreams are already up in flames. And lucky for you, we've got every fiery clip and MIC drop moment ready. But before we roll it, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a second of the drama.
You're a fool blaming Trump. What are you doing for this destruction of these animals destroying Los Angeles? Are you there, talking calmly with them, you fool? They would burn you down like they're burning the cars and the American flag, with no regard for humanity. This is not about Trump. This is about protecting the people from these animals and criminals trying to destroy us.
This epic rant came after Newsom shamelessly tried blaming Donald Trump for the riots in Los Angeles following ICE arrests. While the city burned, Newsom sat idle, letting peaceful protests spiral into chaos. Businesses looted, streets torched, and the governor just watched. Fearing collapse, Trump sent in the National Guard, which finally jolted Newsom into action. But instead of gratitude, he whined, accusing Trump of stirring unrest and acting without consent. Seriously, did he expect Trump to just sit back with popcorn while LA burned? That's why Jon Voight called him a fool, because only a fool hides behind optics while the state crumbles.
All you do is cause chaos for the people. You're a disgrace. You're nothing but a lying dog for the hopes of becoming the president one day. And God is my witness, truth will prevail because of your faults and your incompetence for California's failures. We the people, I stand with Donald Trump to make this state great again. But we the people choose Donald Trump to save America, and we're in danger with threats from terrorists now, and we must protect our country. This has now become good against evil, and evil will lose because our President of the United States of America was sworn in to protect this nation's greatest gifts: freedom, safety, prosperity. And he will, because he is the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln.
Look closely, it almost feels like Gavin Newsom is letting California descend into chaos on purpose. Why? Because he's polishing his presidential run and wants the mess blamed on Trump. It's politics at its worst, watching as looters run, wildfires rage, and lives shatter just so he can spin the chaos as Trump's America. No wonder Jon Voight is tearing into him, blasting his so-called leadership as nothing more than self-obsession. According to Voight, Newsom cares more about his designer suits and perfect camera angles than the people suffering under his watch. Californians didn't elect a runway model, they elected a governor. And what they got was a man who freezes in crisis but always finds time for a press conference. If this is his preview of presidential leadership, America better buckle up. And when called out, what does Newsom say? He cries disinformation. Let's watch.
What's the disinformation you were referring to in the letter, and what is the correct information?
Well, I mean, look, what the president-elect was saying about state water project and the Delta smelt somehow being culpable of, somehow leading to some of the challenges that we face down here was it's words. It's a salad. It's the form and substance of fog. It's made up. It's delusional. And it's a consistent mantra from Trump going back years and years and years. And it's reinforced over and over and over within the right wing. And so it's become gospel. And it's so profoundly ignorant And yet he absolutely believes it. It's not an ignorance on his part. It's sort of an indelible misinformation that he sort of manifested a falsehood.
Here's the hilarious part. Gavin Newsom accuses Trump of rambling word salads and then immediately serves up his own. The question was simple: what disinformation are critics spreading? Instead of answering, he launched into a 1-minute pity party. In the first 10 seconds, he admitted one claim that he botched California's water supply, leaving firefighters without resources. But then came the deflections. I've been defamed for years. My critics are unfair. Really, Gavin, that's not leadership, it's projection. Californians are facing drought, mismanagement, blackouts, businesses fleeing, and your answer is a sob story. If this is how you handle a softball press question, how will you handle presidential level crises? The host Jon Favreau pressed him on what he could have done differently during the fires. Listen closely, we'll break it down after.
Just in the last few years I've been governor, we've close to doubled the investments in CAL FIRE, the state firefighting force. Close to doubled the number of personnel. We've increased the size of our aerial fleet by 16 new helicopters. We were finally able to get from the Pentagon 7 C-130s. We got the first one up there. You saw it up there in the CAL FIRE flag on this fire. We had pre-positioned Saturday, our State Office of Emergency Service. We all got together before this event, days before the event, and we agreed to pre-position in 6 counties here in Southern California. Hundreds and hundreds of assets. Let me be specific about that. On Sunday, we had 110 engines, hundreds of personnel, specialty crews, dozers, water tenders, helicopters. We pre-positioned them strategically in multiple counties.
Did you catch that Dodge Newsom sidestepped the water storage issue like a magician pulling off sleight of hand? Everyone knows one of the most critical factors in wildfire response is water. You can have 1,000 engines, endless helicopters, and brave firefighters, but without water it's all just a smoky parade. Yet when pressed, Newsom bragged about equipment and manpower, conveniently ignoring California's chronic water mismanagement. Classic misdirection. This is why critics call him a snake. He slithers around accountability, hoping nobody notices. But here's the kicker: we dug up a clip of Newsom actually boasting about removing water supplies.
Here is Newsom talking about the largest dam removal in U.S. history, and wait till you hear why they did it.
Largest dam removal project in U.S. history, and one of the most significant, if not the most significant, water restoration project, bringing back salmon and steelhead into this basin. This project could not have happened without extraordinary partnerships with tribal nations and, of course, our partners in the North and Oregon. We just finished a celebration with the Secretary of the Interior and our tribal council and tribal leaders, and I couldn't be more proud as a Californian, and I couldn't be more proud as a father, because my kids and their great-great-grandkids will have the opportunity to see something that, well, has been here since time immemorial, and it's about damn time we got this done.
And there it is, Newsom, in his own words, proudly admitting he stripped California's water resources. That single decision crippled firefighting efforts during the Palisades blaze. This is the cost of woke politics, choosing symbolic eco-stunts over real-life safety. On paper, removing dams to help fish populations sounds noble. In reality, it left firefighters empty-handed, neighborhoods destroyed, lives uprooted, and billions in losses. While families mourned, Newsom patted himself on the back for progress. That's not leadership, it's vanity. He governs for applause lines, not results. There's a time for conservation and a time for practicality. Newsom chose ideology over infrastructure, and Californians paid the price.
It's like the wildfires. Gavin blames climate change when it was his corrupt bureaucracy. Since the Palisades fire, which destroyed 6,000 buildings, only 4 permits have been issued for rebuilding. Did climate change cause that? Hell no. So like the fires, Newsom let homelessness run wild. He allowed tens of billions of dollars to be swallowed up by a maze of consultants, nonprofits, and bureaucrats who created poop mats. It's sad.
And it didn't stop with water. California's own bureaucracy became a second wildfire. Victims weren't met with relief, they were buried under forms, fees, and red tape. Firefighters waited on clearances just to access danger zones. Families ready to rebuild were stuck in endless environmental reviews and approvals. This wasn't safety, it was paralysis. And it's not just critics shouting. Voices like Mel Gibson, John Voight, and even Bill Maher have blasted Newsom for strangling the state with pointless regulations. Fires don't wait for permits, neither should recovery. But under Newsom, bureaucracy is king and Californians suffer.
And now we're supposed to believe Gavin? Hell no. All the problems of the last decade were based on his and his party's lies. A man can grow his hair out and play girl sports. A gangbanger can claim he's oppressed. That homeless junkie, he's just an out-of-work artist. See, Newsom wasn't just ignoring the problem, he enabled it because Dems were in a woke crouch, terrified of their loony base. But now that he's seeing the White House, he's got a brand new act, a common-sense centrist, just a soccer dad in khakis, fed up with crime and chaos. It's all bull, a costume.
And that's the grand finale. Gavin Newsom's leadership is pure political theatre. Heavy on optics, empty on results. From draining water reserves for woke points to drowning recovery efforts in red tape, the consequences have been devastating. Fires rage, homes burn, lives collapse while he deflects blame and cries victim. Critics like Mel Gibson, John Voight, and Bill Maher aren't ranting, they're channeling the frustration of millions of Californians sick of mismanagement dressed up as progress. If this is the model he wants to sell America in 2028, then California is the warning label. And that's where we'll leave it today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more unfiltered political takes.